First Aid Kit. The Lion's Roar.
Oh. Hi. How are you? That's good. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review. First Aid Kit, The Lion's Roar. The Lion's Roar is the second full-length album to come from this Swedish sister singing-songwriting duo. And this thing has been one of my most anticipated albums of this year after hearing the title track to drop from it last year. Oh, and another thing that made me really anticipate this album is that this live video of them performing a Patti Smith cover, and Patti Smith is in the crowd, and it's just a great cover, fantastic version of the song, and Patti Smith is crying. They made Patti Smith cry. Patti Smith is one of the most punk women ever to walk the planet, and they made her cry. You've got to have a lot of stage presence and talent to make somebody else's song like move them. But if you check out this album, it's 10 folky tunes. 10 folky tunes. And they cover a lot of colors of the emotional rainbow. Some moments on here are really kind of uplifting and beautiful. Others are very kind of painful and just loaded with this really paralyzing sadness. Sometimes this album is dark and dreary. Other times it's just powerful and bright. The instrumentation on this LP is mostly acoustic, just a lot of auto harp, acoustic guitar, drums on here as well. It's kind of a step up from the duo's last LP because they definitely tried to improve upon the instrumentation, just build upon that with piano, woodwinds, pedal steel, strings, horns, guest musicians. Connor Oberst is actually a vocalist on the last track. But the thing is, no matter how much instrumentation you throw into a First Aid Kit song, no matter how many guest musicians you put on the bill, the most standout thing that's going to be on the track are First Aid Kit's vocals. That's always going to be their unique edge. You know, First Aid Kit just pulls off these really fantastically tight and close harmonies. It goes on throughout almost each track here, and I think it's something that Fleet Foxes fans especially will dig. I just love the way these girls sing. I love the way they sing. The pitch isn't too high, it's not too low, and these girls have a lot of force behind their voices, a lot of volume control. And just the tone of their voices, it just pierces through the mix. They just hit a range that just really resonates on this record for me. That's just their voices are always just the most ear-grabbing thing on every single one of these tracks. There are spots on here where it's just one vocal, just so close, just right on top of another, like the title track, The Lion's Roar. The way the vocals just intertwine, it kind of creates this really surreal but very natural sounding chorus effect because the sisters' voices just sound so alike, and how they croon so slowly on that track, it just makes it feel like a funeral march. There are tracks like New Year's Eve, though, where you will get kind of a lone vocal leading things. There are other tracks that feature, for the most part, a single voice, like the last track, but on that song, things really speed up with busier lyrics that are really trying to tell a story. A waitress, a restaurant, airport terminal, laughing, crying, head in the stars, feet in the sky. A lot of very Bob Dylan-esque oddball imagery. First Aid Kit really knows how to just captivate me with the vocals, especially on the song New Year's Eve, where the lyrics are just kind of handing out these really personal self-improvement promises throughout the track. Or on the song EMMYLOU, where I feel like, especially on the hook, they're kind of singing directly to me. They're like singing to me, and gives me the chills. I get all chilled out. Chilly. There are a few nitpicky issues I have with the songs, though. The track I Found a Way, the hook on that song, actually sounds a lot like the hook on EMMYLOU. And the song Dance to Another Tune kind of drags on for me a little bit. I guess where I'm really kind of on the fence with this album is with the instrumentation. Sometimes I really like it. Sometimes I think it sounds great. It sounds kind of unique, really complements the tunes on this album, and other times it just leaves me with a bland feeling in my ears. The track In the Hearts of Men is an example of where I think the instruments really work with the track. You get these quiet woodwinds starting things off, and then they just slowly grow along with the song, kind of making a song that would sound really dramatic have this kind of calming quality to it in the background. And the guitars and the drums on the song Blue groove in a really kind of Velvet Underground sort of way. But on other tracks it kind of sounds like, I don't know, some of the guest instruments have been copied and pasted from like 100 other songs. Like the song EMMYLOU, for example. Though I love that track, I'm totally not feeling the pedal steel on that track at all. It just feels so samey. It doesn't add anything unique to the song for me. Just sometimes I wish I felt like the strings or the horns had as much personality and as much uniqueness as the vocals. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. I didn't really come away hating any of these songs. I came away loving a great deal of them, but I do think the instrumentation kind of kept this album just short of being mind-blowing. The ambition of the vocals, the ambition of the tunes isn't really matched up with the instrumentation on this record. I feel like on the surface it feels that way because you are getting all these extra sounds, you're getting all these extra instruments, but what they're playing just doesn't really hit me with any urgency. There's just no oomph behind a lot of the guest instruments on this album to me. Still, I feel like the personality, the songs, and the vocals are here. Those are here. And those made me enjoy this album and will probably keep me checking in to whatever First Aid Kit does in the future. I'm feeling a decent to strong 7 on this LP, but what do you guys think of it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Why? And what do you think I should review next? Anthony Fantano, First Aid Kit, The Lion's Roar, Forever.